Welcome to another choppy session here with BTC. We're at 57,600. The last couple of hours we've gone up, we've gone down, we're going back up again. It's a little bit wild out there, but what I'm paying attention to today is a chart on these altcoins that we cannot ignore. There's a sign coming here that there's a big move that's about to happen. Which way? I'm going to show you guys my thoughts as to what I'm thinking about that. Then I've got some new tokens for you guys. I'm talking some RWAs as well, and I've got some great lower time frame setups for you that you can snipe a couple of entries. So we got a lot happening here today. Let's get right into it. And before we kick off, don't forget, we're talking about XRP. There's a little bit of news on XRP. I'm not going to let you down. We're going to talk about that absolute shitcoin. Just make sure you hit the like, you hit the subscribe, you hit the bell. You can see Ray's fired up there again. I don't know why he wants me to tell your mama every day, but you know what? Do what you need to do. Tell your mama if you want to. Look at the 𝗬𝗢𝗣𝗑. That's in the news today, and we're going to talk about that. There's a grayscale trust that has been launched for 𝗬𝗢𝗣𝗑. So, a little bit of bullish things happening there. Is it sustainable? We'll have to wait and see. We'll take a look at that chart. All over Banter Bubbles, generally quite green, okay? But what we have seen is a little bit of a sell-off now. There's a little bit of chop at the moment, and we're back in one of these areas now where we're like, shit, are we going up? Are we going down? And one of the ones I'm watching very closely here is Rune at the moment, and NEAR as well, looking quite interesting. They're moving into some interesting zones. So we got tons to talk about, guys, so stick around. This is a action-packed show. There's going to be so much happening here for you guys. Let's start with BTC on the 4 hour. Okay, so this is what's gone down today. We've had a nice pop. Okay, but what we've noticed again, they try to break this big anchored VWAP. Now, remember, this anchored VWAP has been resistance for us for a couple of days now. And this has been the basis of a lot of shorts in that region. What they've done today is they popped it through this anchored VWAP, but you can see we've lost it again. So there was a fake out through that anchored VWAP. And right now, support that I'm watching on the 4 hour. 57,280. You can see that region here. We're reacting on that right now. Then a little bit lower down, I've got a banger here for you guys, 56,160. So these are the downside levels I'm paying attention to today. Now, we've got a super bullish S&P. So I'd be pretty surprised if they really start tanking BTC to lower levels. So let's just, we're going to monitor this. If the S&P starts falling over later, then maybe, yes, a little bit more pain on BTC. But right now, my eyes are on this 56,200 region that you can see on the 4 hour. We're going to look at this in more detail on another chart shortly. And then any big moves to the upside. Look at this hot zone that I've got here. I've got the 50-day MA. I've got a 618. I've got a wick as well that needs to be dealt with in that region. So things are looking quite dangerous here at about 60K. So that is potentially a little short zone that I would earmark now while we're watching. I see Richard's talking about gold. I've got that gold chart for you guys. It is coming. And so upside BTC, 60K, downside levels you've got. That's what we're watching the next 24 hours. I'd be surprised if they dump this thing a lot lower with a super bullish S&P. But again, nothing surprises us in crypto. Never be surprised. Okay, these guys can come do whatever they want to us. So just pay close attention. Make sure your stops are in place and things like that. Okay, let's get stuck into some news things floating around now. Europe, the ECB has cut rates again. Okay, so things are looking good from the economic front worldwide. Look at this tweet here. We got the EU 0.5% cut, Canada 0.75, UK 0.25, China 0.25, Denmark 0.25. We know the Fed is next. And with PPI and CPI today coming out all right, I think the signs are there that a 25 basis points is expected. And I would assume that is what the market wants to see. Okay, so we're going to have to see, how that plays out and how the market actually responds when they get what they want. Because sometimes these types of things are priced in. So we're still expecting some kind of potential sell-off on the 18th when they do cut these rates. We'll have to see when the day comes. But don't worry, we will be here. And Bogdan's loving NVIDIA as well. That thing's an absolute pumper. And that's naturally helping some of these AI tokens, Render and Fetch, I see are also cooking at the moment. Okay, so Arkham made an interesting post here about Tether, and this was just interesting for me. And they made $6.2 billion last year. Okay, most of their profit was from US treasuries. Okay, that's interesting. But now the Fed is actually cutting rates. Okay, they're holding 4.38 billion in BTC. Now, what are they going to do next? But this guy, I mean, this company is making so much money at the moment. It's actually insane. And this brought me to this tweet, and I just felt this. I felt I had to share this tweet with you guys. And this is tech revenue per employee. Okay, just look at this score. What's going on here? OnlyFans, $30 million per employee they are making. Okay, this is, I mean, come on.
That deserves a bullhorn.
I don't know. I like
or maybe a different kind of cat meow.
Craigslist also tech $13 million per employee. Netflix $2.6 million per employee. These numbers are staggering. What is going on here? I mean, Microsoft, such a massive company, and they're making $1.1 million per employee. So I don't know how many staff Tether has, but I suspect they should be at the top of this list based on some of these numbers that we are seeing here. I doubt they have loads of staff. So I'd be very interested to see those numbers. Now, today we had PPI coming out. Another one of our typical market movers. And, everybody's geared up now for this September 18th rate cut and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, it's notable that we're watching these things. But PPI, nothing really unusual here. Everything stayed the same. And you can see the bottom comment here from the 𝗑𝗫𝗖𝗔 letter. We continue to call for a 25 basis point rate cut this month. And that is what is expected, okay? And the S&P is responding accordingly, and big support for us, 5,380. So no changes there. Notable here, we've blown the 50-day MA. So here's a new little line of support that you guys can start playing with, 5,500. Let's see if the S&P can start holding this. Maybe then it starts churning higher, and then we have our fight again at these all-time highs. So that's going to be interesting leading into the 18th. I'd like to see some strength there. And, no doubt, for me, there's tons of shorts up here. I think these guys are going to come and squeeze this thing for a little bit before they send it down. So that is still a game plan. That is still something I want to be watching. And then a notable, look at this gold. Absolutely ripping. Haven't watched gold in so long, and I haven't taken a gold trade in ages. And, when you see this type of thing pumping like this, it gets me itchy fingers here to fire up this Prime XBT. Again, remember on Prime XBT, other than the crypto I trade, you can actually trade gold. You can trade silver. I think you can trade copper there as well, CFDs, all these things. So we'll get back into it. But this crypto market's very exciting at the moment. And then, but guys, before I jump into some of these charts, for those of you that are new to charts or you're staring at these charts, you don't know what I'm talking about, join the Sniper School. It's here for you guys. They're going to teach you everything that you can see on my screen, all the stuff that I'm talking about, all the jargon, all these things. It's free at Sniper School. Just jump in the link in the description under the show. There's a free course. Okay, you can learn about all this stuff. And when I'm pulling fibs and doing all these things with trends and resistances and all these types of things, you're going to then understand exactly why I'm saying things and what I'm talking about. So if you're interested in crypto, you must be, because you're watching the show, and you're not that interested in TA. Well, now's your opportunity. Do the work now while the market is still fresh before the rest of the retail guys come here, and let's do some TA together. Now, before we dial in to BTC on the 1 hour, this is very interesting to me right now. And this is what's telling me that we might get some more downside before we get some pumpage. So if you take a look at the 24-hour liquidation map on Binance, look to the upside. They've now flushed this upside out earlier with that little pump that you guys might have noticed. And now to the downside, look how juicy this is here. 57,300 all the way down. Look at this whole band all the way down to 56,500. That is a hot zone now. That is a hotbed of liquidity. It's free money for the market makers. They want to come and take that out. They want to come and eat it all up. So how do you translate that? Well, let's look at a 1 hour chart and start trying to decipher what we're seeing here. Does that liquidity tie in with some of these levels that I've got? So let's talk today. What did we have? We had a 1 hour. We got the 1 hour chart. We got that rejection of that anchored VWAP. I just showed you on the 4 hour. Look at this. We had a perfect bounce on our 382 fib. A beautiful reaction at 57,300. Look at the size of this little pump out of BTC. Now that got everybody excited, myself included. And we had a beautiful little 2% bounce on BTC, like directly off that 382. Now we've come back, okay? So this tells me that there's a very good chance they're going to send us a little bit lower. I see at Enough and I says, afternoon, are we up or are we down? Well, look at this chart, Mark. Look at this thing. This thing pumped into the VWAP, rejected hard, and now it looks like they're going to come and chase a little bit more liquidity. So key levels on the 1 hour, you could see we are trying to react here, 57,300, then lower down, 56,640. How does that tie in with the liquidation map? Look at this, all the way down to that last little cluster there at the bottom. Wouldn't that be an absolute thing of beauty if they do send this down to this 56,640 region. So for me, high conviction long zone on BTC, this is where we're looking for longs, 56,640. Now you can see we've had a big rejection, most likely. Why wouldn't they come back now and grab some of this liquidity? Remember, there would be tons of late longers now chasing that original pump. And now it makes sense. They come down, send a little bit lower. So 56,640, looking for some action there. A similar type of reaction as we saw earlier today. I'd love to see that type of bounce out of BTC. So locked and loaded in here. Watch this area closely, okay? Keep your eyes on that guy. And then today I was talking about this MACD. Now, yesterday, you guys would have watched the show. I mentioned this on the show yesterday. Now, I tweeted about it today because this MACD actually flipped bullish. Now, yesterday on the show, I was saying to you guys, it actually hasn't happened yet. We need to wait for this event to happen. We need to wait for this crossover. And it's now happened this morning. So I just did that calculation. I dropped it on Twitter. You can follow me at the Lord of Entry. And what I'm saying here is the previous 5 times this event happened, we had 10%, 21, 14, 42 and 24% upside. Yes, this time could naturally be different. We're going to take a look at the chart now. But you know, if we take into account the last 5 events that this has occurred, then to me, it tells us we should be getting some kind of move. And when I was talking about that crossover happening, here it is on the MACD. I'm going to zoom in here for you guys. You can see this blue line is now crossing over that orange line at the moment. And we have just turned slightly green here. Look at this. We got our first little pop on that green guy. And the last 5 times that happens, well, you've seen the results there from my tweet earlier today. So still remaining bullish, but what is the one caveat? What is the one thing stopping me from turning turbo bullish on this thing? Let's look at this. Okay, let's bang out our 200-day moving average. Okay, so if we get a nice move from this MACD. Let's say we go, the last time this happened, we had a 10% move. Let's say we get a 10% move here and we push that. That's a big rejection for me at that 200-day MA. So let's not get that excited, okay? The information is here, but that 200-day MA, we know, big level as well for us at around 64K, okay? So might give us some kind of run. Is this run going to run into the 18? Could be a nice little play here for us. So that is still working into my plan. And now this is the altcoin chart that I was telling you guys about. This is the one we actually need to be like really aware of. We can't get euphoric here. We've got work to do on these altcoins. So we've had a nice little pump. Yes, tons of us we trading longs. We're doing all these types of things, but we actually in a bit of a dangerous zone at the moment. This is the others chart. Now, what is the others chart? The others chart is basically the entire alt market, excluding the top 10. Okay, so that's the Bitcoin and the top 10 alts. So they've taken everything else, okay? All the shit coins they've piled into this thing. And if we take a look at this on the weekly, you can see we're at a precarious little position here. Look at this. We are rejecting off a major weekly downtrend, okay? So this is, we've had multiple rejections off this trend. And let's just take a look at the previous 2 times. The last time we rejected, we got a 25% dump on the others. And the time before that, we had a 42% or 40% dump on these others. Okay, where does that take us? If we do get this drop, where does that take us? For me, it's going to take us to a massive bounce zone, this 133 billion. This is a huge area. Okay, so, you know, if we do get to that side, because I'm going to explain the bullish side of things now shortly. If we do get down there, there's going to be a mega altcoin rally from there. There's going to be a mega bounce. Okay, no questions asked. That's going to be a huge move for us. Here's Uncle. He's stepping into my office. Can I help you, sir? Come step into my office.
What's happening?
Here's Uncle. There he is. Say hello.
How's it, guys?
We're sending altcoins to zero. This is the total.
The trend is breaking next week, sir.
We're going to help.
You think it's going down, eh? Is that what you're telling your people?
Well, I'm going to explain my bullish case shortly.
But I mean, hold on. Do you think? I want to see the comments here. Let's just see the comments here. You think that this thing is going down now?
Potentially, yes.
How much more down?
About 20%. Bro, I'm long.
Okay, so I mean, 20%.
Let me finish my. You must watch my show.
But wait. Are you saying? Are you seriously saying that this show is going to be 20% down?
If this thing rejects here, we're going to help. No questions asked. Okay, if we get a hard rejection here after the 18th, this thing is coming down. So this, can I finish my plan? Let me tell you.
Okay, tell me my plan. I'm going to sit
you sit behind me. Okay, guys, here's the plan. Okay, and I hope Uncle's listening here.
I'm listening.
Okay,
but don't come with these
20%
down.
but you see, you like those guys that read my tile and then come back and then say like, okay. So here's this. So this is the others chart, right? Okay, this is the entire altcoin market excluding the top 10. Okay, you got it. Now, what are we looking at? We are looking at a rejection area here. This is our weekly, and we're in a danger zone. Okay, so the previous times we've seen it, 20% downside rejection. The time before that, 40% rejection. Okay, so we understand the bear case. Okay, we're pushing into rate cuts on the 18th. Okay, everyone's pricing that in, right? So what I'm saying here is potentially that could play out here. We get some kind of fake out through this 50-day MA. Okay, everyone gets euphoric. Everyone gets involved. The 18th comes. What happens? They reject us and then they send us straight to hell. Okay, and that has been my game plan for the last 4 weeks. Leading into the rate cuts.
This is not a happy place.
This is a happy place, bro. Yeah, I'm keeping my people happy here. Okay, I'm keeping them.
I came here happy.
They must be prepared for all scenarios. Okay, so guys, you are covered. But here's the bull case. Here's the other scenario. Okay, bullish case. Okay, so let's just show Uncle this part because he obviously hasn't watched my show. But you didn't watch my show yesterday. The last five times the MACD crossed over. Okay, 24, 42, 14, 21, 10. Okay, yeah. Bullish. Okay, we all agree on that. Cool.
How do you put those nice labels in the charts?
It's a skill.
It's a skill. Just put one label. Show me how to put one.
What do you mean, like that?
Yeah.
Or do you want to write a label?
I want it to look like that.
I'll just pull the percent bar and then you adjust the settings.
So just show me like on those things. Yeah. Show me where did you click?
So you're gonna go here on the left.
Yeah.
And you want to adjust that, and then you fix the setting. Okay, guys, you're learning TradingView stuff as well here. I mean, this is a great show today. Okay, bull case. Why am I slightly bullish on some of these altcoins? Well, number one,
the breakout, the rates go, the breakout happens.
It's not gonna pump on those rates. We're gonna dump on those rates.
And token 2049 and
yeah, I can run into it, but
okay, so we have a pump. And then what happens? So what's the bullish case?
It's gonna get bought up quickly in October, and then we're sending it. So this is what's going to happen.
Bullish or bearish,
let me just explain. So so this is what's going to happen. This is my theory. Okay,
just put Ray on it. What is he wearing? Is he watching?
These are the bull goggles. That's the bull goggles.
The bull goggles, sir.
Honestly, I haven't watched the show for a while, but what the fuck's actually going on here?
That's so good.
Jeez, I haven't watched the show for a while. What the hell is going on in this?
The bull goggles.
It's the full screen. We're zoomed in.
Come on, I'm gonna get back to business here. I got so much. Look at this. I'm not even halfway. I've got tons to talk about there.
What the hell is going? What the hell?
And a joint.
Traders there.
So wait, does this happen every day? He smokes a joint and puts Oculus on.
Yeah, he's very focused.
Wait, Ray. I need to ask you a question. Move up a second. Okay, hold on. Have you ever watched porn with those or not? But be honest.
No, I haven't. Not yet. Everyone asks that.
Do you want to watch porn? Do you think it could be a good idea?
I don't need to watch porn. I'm in Brazil.
You know what I think you should do? I've always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to put on those kind of glasses and watch porn and see what it's
come
like.
to Brazil. You wouldn't need porn.
Hey, come on, let's try. Just try it and tell me what it's like. Just put on like something porn on and just tell me what it's like.
I've seen myself get liquidated with them on, so it's like the same.
No, bro, just okay. www. Just hear me out here, bro. Hear me out here. Okay, hear me out here, bro.
No, bro, you're killing it.
www.
Okay.
.uporn.com.
Uporn. How do you know about this site?
Friend. It was a friend.
A friend. Okay. Which segment do I choose? Which fetish?
Okay, back to normal viewing. Okay, here we go. Ray, you got put on the spot there, bro.
Wait, Ray, give me an update, bro.
Okay, let's get back to the charts. Let's focus here. Okay, so you guys have got my idea. Okay, bullish case here. You can see we've got
Ray. What's happening there, bro?
I'm liquidated. Liquidated.
Okay, so what do we got here on the weekly? We do have a higher low. Okay, so that is our bull case here. We've got a higher low on this chart on the weekly. So things are looking okay from that perspective. What does that tell me? Okay, that tells me we can get some kind of bullish push. Me personally, I'm a little bit cautious on anything here. Naturally, I'm going to look for some kind of fake out. So some of these tokens that I'm trading at the moment, some of the longs that I'm in, if they actually hold, okay, let's say they don't hold this BTC dip that we're looking at to 56K. Well, if they do hold, then I'm going to be taking profits on any big push out of this trend, because I'm suspecting on the 18th there's going to be some kind of sell-off. So that is my personal plan that I'm looking at the moment, and playing accordingly. But again, you know, anything can happen once we break that level. We can always reassess and say, okay, we've got supports, 50-day MA, weekly trends, things like that, and we can plan accordingly. But right now, I just want to say to you guys, we get a strong break out of this thing, exercise caution, okay? Make sure you are taking profits on some of your tokens, okay? Now, naturally, you know, the bulls and all of us want to keep all of these things open and things like that. So what I'm just saying is, let's take some profit on some of these tokens. Spot bags, leave them. If you're happy and you're comfortable, leave those things. Some of the leverage trades, we want to take some profits on any big pushes through these
that's
areas.
an interesting comment.
What is that? 18th is the bull moon.
I wonder if that's true. I wonder if that's validated.
Guys, right now, all scenarios are on the table. All cases are on the table. Okay, we got to play what's in front of us here. Right, we also got history that we can listen to. And for me, potentially sell the event situation. Okay, let's get into coins. Here's Prime XBT. I'm still sitting in this link position. Okay, I'm going to take you through this exact link position that I'm in, and I'm going to explain to you why I'm still holding a link and why I'm not closing this one at the moment. So this is me in Prime XBT. You can see my current stop, 10.38 or 10.32 is my current stop. I'm going to take you through this chart quickly just to cover you guys. I have added to this one a little bit. You can see my size is now $31,000. If we do get some more momentum, I'm going to be adding some more with this thing. Alternatively, if they send this lower, then I am stopped out at basically my entry on this link situation. So interesting post here from Dammy DeFi. He's talking about a weekly chart on link, and he's getting uber bullish on this, and we're seeing a ton of bull posts here at the moment with regards to link. So, you know, interesting, and it is topical, and we are sitting in a link position. So I thought, well, let's dial in again and keep you guys updated here. We have seen in the past link has been a complete outperformer on some occasions. This thing actually triggered the last RWA run. If you guys remember correctly, link started absolutely firing off, and then things like Ondo and 𝗲𝗄 and a ton of these others started waking up as well. So link is now on my radar. We haven't traded it much lately, but now for me, trying to just position myself in a little bit of link action if we do get bullish. So just to close on this link position and why I'm still holding it. So you could see my stop loss was just under 10.32. Okay, if we take a look at this link chart on the 1 hour, look where 10.32 is. Now, I've strategically placed my stop loss. 10.32 is underneath the anchored VWAP. It's underneath a 618 fib. So for me, this is my assumption that any dips here or any pullbacks that we get here, we're going to hold 10.36. Okay, so I'm looking for the 618 and anchored VWAP to hold. That for me is why I've got that stop just under that region. That is game plan number one for link. Now that is naturally BTC not melting down too hard or going too deep on us there. Your uncle's back again.
Ray, what's the update, bro?
Drift is flying. That's the update. Somebody look at this drift chart.
What's the price of it?
Fuck, I don't know. I'm not forgetting.
Check CoinGecko. Check CoinGecko.
Where's this guy? Yeah.
It does, is Drift on trading view?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
Hit it.
It's flying.
60 it.
Oof.
Yes, baby.
Yes.
Yes, baby.
Okay, so drift is ripping. I see Uncle's quite happy with that. Okay. Link you guys have got. Let's just finish these levels here on link. Now we want BTC naturally to hold that 618 that I told you guys about. So that is this guy over here. That is this, wait, where's this? Here he is. Okay, so we want BTC to hold this 56,640. I suspect if it does hold that, then link could potentially start holding this region for us. So just to highlight that 618 fib on link, it's 10.37 that we're going to be watching there. 10.37, then a little bit lower down. If they do come and they want to take out some of this liquidity down here, you're looking at 10.22. So I'll look for re-entries down there at 10.22. We're going to have to see how that plays out. Okay, but you've got some key levels here for link. And look at this bounce zone, 10.37. That's a pretty high conviction bounce zone. It's a 618 horizontals and the anchored VWAP from the dump on August. So keep your eyes on that, guy.
Hold on, man. Why don't we have conviction on the likes? Like, what is going on? 1,200 people here,
They must
400
like,
likes or less.
like this run
Come on.
action. They must have liked that. Okay, guys, we've got so much to get through here. I've got tons of stuff for you. So let's start plowing on here and get cracking. Let's go Solana. Again, another topical one. We've got Breakpoint coming on Sol next week. Okay, big event. Okay, massive Solana event. We're expecting some kind of drive into that. You saw Run, super bullish on Sol still leading into the event, and Token 49. So for me, big level, 130, just under 130, even 128, little push down to there. Alternatively, we're watching 126. That's going to be our 618 bounce if we do get that. So Sol traders, these are your big ones you want to watch. 129, 126. And then naturally 121. We don't want to go there. Okay, Bitcoin's going to be ugly if we go there. Yeah, it's going to be messy. But those are the levels. That is what you got for Sol. And where do I add to my position? Well, this was my game plan earlier today in Sniper Club that I dropped to the guys. If we do get a break, okay, look out for the rejection at that anchored VWAP. I've just highlighted this for you guys here. Look out for that rejection. That little retest is going to be critical for us for Solana, and that could be a nice bullish buy then for new traders on Sol at 133. So if this thing pulls back, you've got your bounce zones that you want to look for. If this thing gets aggressive now in the next 24 hours and we don't get a pullback, your strongest buy is going to be around 133, 134. That's going to be a support buy that you're going to be looking for after some kind of rejection. So just play safe, just play it carefully here, and then look for that pullback buy, and then that's going to give us a nice target on Sol, 146, 147. So that is locked and loaded for me. No changes then on that perspective. And now this, come on, this Dusty, guys. Do you love XRP? Do you like XRP? Because this thing won't go away. It's like a bad rash. And I mean, come on. Grayscale to launch first US XRP trust, paving way for potential ETF. Okay, I don't know, guys. For me, this is an absolute shitcoin. I mean, look how ETH has performed on the ETF. Why is suddenly XRP going to perform on the ETF? Is it going to have grannies buying this thing? I mean, who else is going to be buying this XRP situation? So I thought, let's look at this. Let's look at this token, and this is XRP on the weekly. Okay, and we can see what's going on. It's just been non-stop chop on XRP since. When did we start this range? We started this range April 23. Okay, if you've been sitting in XRP, you must be so miserable. You must be absolutely miserable that nothing happens in this token. And well, I mean, if you are, there's a cure for that.
If there's a breakout, what's the measured move on that out of this range? If there is a breakout to the upside, if it's not to the downside.
Getting there, right? We're getting there. Okay, so firstly, you must be so miserable if you are in XRP, okay? And like, you've really stayed the course. So make sure you hold some of your bags there. But there is an alternative. What you can do is compare XRP to the BTC chart. You can compare XRP to the ETH chart, to the Sol chart, and things like that, and try and figure out, maybe you got a different, better performer or something like that, or maybe you want to take this to your grave with you. But I mean, look, please, if this thing pumps, I'm going to become an internet meme. Everyone's going to rip me off. But if it doesn't, well, I was right. And XRP for me. So from here, upside, 17%. Next move, 38%. I suspect if XRP goes 38% to the upside, even ETH is going to do 38%. Okay, things like Arweave, things like Injective, things like Render, things like Tower.
What about Litecoin?
No, come. We got one Dusty at a time here. It's going to break my Mac. Okay, so 37% for me is the main upside here on XRP for now. And then naturally, guys, I'm happy to be wrong. Okay, I stand to be corrected. I just think it's an absolute shitcoin. If you've been sitting in this thing for so long, feeling all this pain nonstop, surely there's better trades out there for you guys. But if there is, okay, you've got your upside targets there. You've got your major support is here at 51, and your lows 42. Okay, so nothing changes there. If XRP does turn super bullish, guys, don't you worry. I'll be dealing with it. We'll identify new targets. There will be higher targets, okay? If it does turn super bullish, we'll go there. We'll talk about it when we need to. But right now, nothing happening. Bogdan loves 8810X. Okay, let's talk ZoomX comp. So thanks for those of you that have joined so far, who signed up to ZoomX and joined my squad. It's called the Disciples of Entry. And it's now well underway. And we got our first trade going today in Sniper Club. I've created a separate channel in the Sniper Club for the 𝗬𝗎𝗡𝗔 challenge, and I dropped a few entries in there today that we were working on. One of them was Rune. We got a nice little entry there, bang, a little bounce, but it's done a full round trip. So I'm going to take you through that Rune position as well. That was going to be my first, my first trade on the 𝗬𝗎𝗡𝗔 competition that we're running. So all you need to do, guys, jump into the link in the description, join 𝗬𝗎𝗡𝗔 on that link, and join my squad, the Disciples of Entry. And the best part about this is 𝗬𝗎𝗡𝗔 have given me a special deal. Okay, now there's 30 odd members here in my Disciples of Entry squad, but the guy with the top P&L gets $1,000 prize. Number 2 gets $600 prize. Number 3 gets $400 prize. And you don't have to trade big positions at all. Remember, the key in some of these P&L competitions is you actually start with a small amount of capital. And then when these things start firing up, you increase the leverage, you increase your size, you do all these types of things, and then your P&L can really start churning up. So I've started with a small position on 𝗬𝗎𝗡𝗔 as well. And we're looking to try and just fire up that P&L. So come and join my squad. Okay, we all there. And there's specific prizes just for my team. Okay, it's 1,000 for first, 600 second, 400 for third. Very simple game plan here. And the first trade was Rune. So I'm going to tell you why I've taken Rune and why I'm interested in it. You can see bigger picture. The first thing I like to do is zoom out, 12-hour time frame. And we can see on this little pullback on BTC, we've got Rune sitting at 3.8. Now, notable again, BTC is sitting on a level that's reacting. And at the same time, we've got altcoins sitting on corresponding levels. Rune is a perfect example of that. Okay, so BTC on support. What is Rune doing? Sitting on support. Now, naturally, if BTC starts losing support, Rune is going to feel the brunt of it. Okay, Rune is going to start feeling a little bit of pain. So right now for me, the 3.8 zone is still a zone of interest. Okay, here's my chart. Here is my setup that I dropped earlier today. And this is Rune on the 1 hour. So why was this a big bounce zone for me earlier? Couple of reasons. 382 fib, trend, 50-day MA, anchored VWAP from the dump on the 5th of August, okay? And naturally, it responded, okay? So we took the Sniper Club through this the whole day, okay? When we started watching Rune earlier today, it was sitting somewhere in this region up here. We're sitting somewhere in there. There was a bit of pumpage, things like that. And we were waiting the whole day. What did it do? It dropped down into the zone. Look what it reacted off. Look at this. It drops into 382, drops into trend, drops into anchored VWAP, and pop. This thing just takes off from the zone. 3.6% pump there on Rune. Yes, BTC rejected. It wasn't sustainable. Now they've turned it over. Okay, so right now, Rune is back in the entry box. So if you want to have a crack at this with me, Rune is now sitting in the entry box. You can see here, this zone, 3.8 region, anywhere in this 3.8 region. And you can see why I've made my stop, 3.775. Very simple game plan. If we start closing under this region, it most likely tells us that BTC is going to deeper and darker levels, and then Rune most probably is going to deeper and darker levels. And for me, that's going to be around 3.6. Even, you know, we could maybe tap some of those candles there and this anchored VWAP here. But for me, the 3.7 to 3.6 region is going to be the next area of interest for me on Rune. Okay, so we're going to take a small stop here. If we hit that 3.775, then we sit back and we wait. We wait for our next setup here and let this thing play out accordingly. So right now, Rune is in the box, and here is the current trade that I've taken. Now, the goal here again is P&L. Okay, we want to chase the P&L percentages here, and I'm sitting in a Rune position now. I've opened $1,000 Rune position. If we get a dip a little bit lower, I'll add a little bit more. If we start pumping aggressively, we're going to try and grow that size. So what I'm going to do here is start playing with my leverage, and I can take you guys through that if we do get some momentum. You can see right now it's on a 10x. But we can start increasing that a little bit and then removing some of our margin as well. So we're going to try and really get this thing churning a little bit, but we just need a little bit of Rune pumpage here. But you can see right now we are in our entry box. Your exit plan, 3.775. If you are watching this thing live, look for a candle close. If you are away from your desk or you are sleeping or things like that, put in a hard stop. 3.75, 3.775. That'll give you a little bit of breathing room there in case they want to sweat you a little bit. But right now, you can see it's in the entry box again. We've had our second bite at this. Let's see if this holds for us. Let's see if we can get our first trade off to a winning start. Okay, let's give it a few hours. Okay, next one we've got is Sundog. Now, we haven't spoken much about the Tron situation since we were trading Tron not too long ago, and we were trading those absolute Tron shitcoins. But something that won't stop or won't go away is the Sundog situation. Now, it's one of the first memes on Tron at the moment, and Johnny just posting that Sundog is now number 2 in volume on Bybit, okay, flipping Popcat and Whiff. Have you noticed nobody's interested in Whiff anymore? Popcat's still pumping, but Sundog seems to be taking the cake at the moment. So that is notable. And then we see that Sundog partnered with OKX Wallet and things like that. And then what else do we know? We also know they've got Bybit Perps, they've got Bybit Spot. Okay, but what is missing? Okay, Binance. When are they going onto Binance? Okay, normally there's a hell of a pump on a Binance announcement that it's going into Binance Perps or something along those lines. So that is what I'm looking out for on Sundog. When it does, I'm expecting a little bit of action. I'm expecting a little bit of fireworks. And let's not forget things like the Upbit, the Korean exchanges as well. Those things could get a little bit spicy for us. So I pulled out the Sundog chart for you guys. I thought, let's have a look and let's see if we can start paying attention to this one, because if we do get that Binance announcement, this thing is going to start ripping. Okay, and I'd like a piece of that if it's going to do that for us. So right now, what you can see is this is Sundog on the 1 hour. Now it's quite a new token here on Bybit at the moment, so you can see it's quite a new token. We don't have tons of information on it, so we're using the 1 hour chart. And right now, I'm tracking this rising trend. So key levels here for me that I would watch if you're looking for some kind of entry on the Sundog, or you perhaps you're sitting in this thing already and you're interested in a couple of zones. Well, these are some areas of interest here where we could snipe a couple of buys here. So 0.29, that's an interesting zone for me. So if we do get a little bleed out here, look for something there in that region, 0.29. Alternatively, looking at about 0.27. Okay, so they're spot zones. Okay, remember, these things can be super volatile here. So if you want to trade this thing, you really want to focus on a really low leverage stuff, or you want to have some kind of spot position. The market cap here is something like 300 billion at the moment. If this thing goes to Binance, I would expect 400, maybe 450 and things like that, with some of the hype behind it. So it's on my hit list, okay? It's on my watch list. And then any upside moves, you can see they're rejecting this at the moment at 32. Okay, so that is a rejection area for us. Let's watch this 32, 33 zone, possible rejection there. But if we do get some kind of Binance or Upbit listing or something like that, we know Justin Sun, he's very strong, that guy. Okay, he's got his contacts, he's got his stuff, and he's got tons of money. Okay, let's not forget that. He's got pumpermentals in his blood, that guy. Okay, let's talk about 𝗬𝗢, another hot one for us. And Grayscale just launched the 𝗬𝗢 Trust. Now, we've seen this on 𝗬𝗢𝗘𝗥. I mean, we've had all these announcements now the last couple of weeks. 𝗬𝗢𝗘𝗥 was one of them. There were a ton of others that came out, and they all had their little bullish moves. And obviously, insiders clearly knew what was what, because 𝗬𝗢 has been outperforming for the last couple of weeks. You guys would have noticed that 𝗬𝗢 was on top of everybody's lips lately. So, typical crypto moves, insiders everywhere, and they obviously knew the whole story. So, right now, what do we got? Resistance higher up for us on 𝗬𝗢. Okay, we're looking at 1.15, watching that region. You can see we got big resistance ahead of us. Okay, but overall, it's not a bad look here, the current situation. This thing could be teeing up for a little bit more action. So what I would suggest here on 𝗬𝗢 at the moment, let's look for some potential pullback levels. I wouldn't like to buy something that is pumped like that. Okay, I'd like to buy something that has dipped lower into a nice support band and things like that. So for me on 𝗬𝗢, there's a couple of key areas here for me that I would pay attention to now after today's pump. Okay, so number one for me is 95. Okay, that would be a nice little revisit to our trend. 95, bang, that looks like a nice little zone. And then I've got a very hot zone here for you guys at 86, 868, 868, this whole region here, 868. Little bit lower into that zone. Also, nice spot zone here for 𝗬𝗢. So you might just need to be a little bit patient. Like, I wouldn't go and buy this turbo candle here. I'd be very cautious. Look for 94.7. We'll call it 95. Look for 868 as your next potential hot zones. Both of those should be quite bullish. If it can hold these levels, I think it's going to remain pretty bullish here for us. And that, most likely ties in with BTC not killing us. Okay, BTC just giving us a nice little generous pullback. Okay, like a gentleman's pullback, something like kind, like hello, like how are you? Very relaxing pullback, nothing too stressful for us. And right, let's talk. Posty XBT says, when people are looking at utility-based projects again, 𝗓𝗡 is going to be clear and obvious choice for many. We're talking RWAs here, guys. Okay, Ondo. Okay, Injective has made a little step into RWAs. Don't forget, Pendle, another absolute banger. But 𝗓𝗡 is resurfaced again, $67 million market cap. If this thing gets attention, which it should, okay, we've had this on the show before, this thing is looking relatively bullish to me. So this typical setup, and now this setup applies to 15-minute charts as well, and it applies to daily charts, okay, the squeeze setup that I love to see on these altcoins. Okay, you get these little squeezes, and then eventually you get a pop, you get that retest, and then you get that send. And 𝗓𝗡 now teeing up for something like that. So what I want to suggest here, spot baggers. Okay, the guys holding spot and things like that. This could be a nice one for your RWA plays. Look for the rejection here in this current region. You can see we are rejecting at the moment, but if it follows this type of bullish plan, I would expect this thing to really start giving us a big move. So 𝗓𝗡, big support that you want to watch, 0.11. Okay, nice little spot zone there. Nice little spot support zone there for us as well. 0.11. You've got your trend, you've got your 50-day MA, and nice little band of support there to grab some buys. If this thing starts popping through, well, you can see the story. You can see the picture that they're going to be creating here. We're popping through a horizontal, and then you want to start looking at the previous horizontals as support, the previous resistance. So you're looking for that pop there, and then you're looking for that type of area to hold for us, and then we send that one higher. So 𝗓𝗡 also on my watch list here. Could be a nice little RWA narrative spot play for you guys as well, tied in with a couple of others, okay, like Ondo, like Injective, that I'm about to show you guys next. So 𝗓𝗡 locked and loaded, like the look of that one, and Injective getting well, they love their own work. I mean, they're always tweeting about themselves, but establishing itself as a leader in tokenization is just one of the many efforts that have positioned Injective at the forefront of traditional finance's convergence with decentralized networks. Wow, that was a mouthful. But basically, all I can say is RWA, bullish vibes for Injective. Okay, in summary, and what we're looking at here, Injective on the daily, first thing I like to do, zoom out. What is happening to me in the bigger picture? Where are my danger zones? Where should I be cautious? And you can see Injective, we've got a danger zone ahead of us. So this danger zone tells us a couple of things. We might still get one more push out of Injective, okay, before we get some kind of rejection here. So for me, danger zone ahead on the daily chart is 20. Let's look out for that 20 region. If we do start blowing that region, we're going to have a hell of a trade later on. Okay, we're going to be looking for some massive targets here on Injective. It's going to be around about 26. It's going to be a nice big level that we can look at. But right now, we can squeeze a little bit more out until we start pushing into our danger zone. And here it is on the 1 hour. So scalper zones, guys, this is for you. Okay, this is for you guys to snipe these entries and tee these things up. And you can see now we've zoomed in on the 1 hour on Injective, and now we get the bigger picture. So we can see that danger zone is just ahead of us. There's our danger zone that we've highlighted. So we know that's a very big resistance area for us. Then to the downside, look at this typical little 382 reaction on Injective. No fancy fireworks here. We're literally just using a 382 fib, and you can see it's a reaction zone for us. But what does this tell us? It could typically mean we get our little bounce like you saw on Rune, for example, and then we start a little journey a little bit lower here. And I'm starting to like the look of this 18 region on the 618. So Injective right now, short-term support, 18.7. Okay, watch that area. If we do bleed a little bit lower, look at 18.3. I've got an anchored VWAP for you from the September dumps. Okay, we know that thing is strong. Okay, that thing is powerful. So watching around about 18.3 as the next potential zone. And typically we'd like to see something like that. So one of these could obviously be the bottom, and then this thing starts firing off. And if we do get a little bit more downside, I've got a very hot zone here for you. Most likely come and take out this whole candle then here at 17.7. Okay, so hot zone here, 17.7 for Injective. So a couple of scalper zones for you, a high conviction long zone, 17.7, and you've got your danger zone ahead of you at 20. Okay, you've got the full map, you've got the full plan here. And typically, this danger zone is most likely or leaning in favor to a short zone, to a bear zone. Okay, so just remember that when we do get to those types of areas, what you want to do, just get your perspective right. You can flip the chart over and you can start looking at these types of danger areas and look where you could potentially get some bounce. And you can see this is a big zone for us here. And look at that. Little candle there, take out that candle into that danger zone and then send it down. Okay, so we'll flip this thing back. Eventually, There it is. Okay. So, and then that candle that I was highlighting, yes. This is also why I think we can get one more push out of Injective. Look at that candle. Okay. Why wouldn't they come and wipe this candle out quickly before they send this thing lower down? So watching that area nicely, that is why there could be an invitation for just one more pump into that danger zone there, and then potential downside on Injective. Okay, I've got Ondo for you, another RWA play, underperformer. Now we know BlackRock loves Ondo. BlackRock were buying Ondo. Okay, so we know this is a safe bet. If you're looking for RWA plays that are the lowest risk, okay, remember this is crypto. Okay, so lowest risk, you're looking at something like Ondo, because of what's behind it. We know BlackRock's behind it. We know it's my go-to trade for RWA. If I'm looking for a move on the market and I want to play RWA, I love Ondo. Okay, great mover. And you can see right now being a little bit disappointing actually relative to what it's done in the past. If you take a look at the previous moves that this thing's done, you know, since the hype started. I mean, when did this thing top? In about June, this thing topped out. And we've had a nice little sell-off at the moment. And I expect this thing...
Bullhorn, we got somebody joining the team. Bullhorn.
Sylvia, welcome. Glad to have you here, guys. Okay, let's see. What's is Rune moving? Rune's cooking. Okay, nice.
Drift is still fucking moving. Drift is on a tear.
Okay, well, Rune's looking good. I mean, like, okay, let's see. Let's see if this thing holds. You guys, everyone watching the show, you would have got your entry in this box now, so you can technically... Yeah, you guys are good. Let's see how it goes. Remember the TP1s here for Rune, 3.9, TP2, call it 4, and then TP3 is going to be these highs, okay? 4 at the top, 4.08. Okay, those are the three levels you can watch. Naturally, if this thing turns super bullish, we can start adding and growing this position. So just give it a little bit of time. And, you know, what I can suggest here in these type of entries that we look for is you want to de-risk as quickly as possible. Okay, so if this thing starts running, you don't want a situation where you're just getting wrecked. Okay, so if you get a nice green candle out of this thing, just drop a little stopper, you know, under a nice little area there, de-risk a little bit, and just play it safe. Okay, let's see how my thing's looking here. Okay, it's turning a little bit green here at the moment. Let's see how we go. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so Ondo, we covered. We didn't cover the levels. So Ondo, for me, I think it's coming. Okay, just be patient here with Ondo. Big resistance here, 68. You can see big danger zone here for us if we do get there. Okay, so if we do get a push now out of the market, possible rejection there. Possible short zone coming at 68. But for me, spot buys, things like that, Ondo, safe play, RWAs, big support here. 537. Okay, big support 537. Watch that. Okay, nice little zone. If you're going to 50, okay, this market is wrecked. If you're going to 50, the market is in pain, and you know, you're gonna have to reassess the whole situation if Ondo's going back to 50. So, you know, right now, watch your big zones. 537, 50. It's on the radar. Okay, I've got two quick scalper entries for you. I don't have higher time frames for you guys because we're running out of time. I've got scalper setups here for you guys, and just remember, don't forget, like and subscribe. Okay, if you like the content, hit the like button. It's free to like this content for you. I do this every day. I love it. Okay, yes, I enjoy it, but it's free. So liking is free as well. Do that. Subscribe to the channel. You can also support me by trading on the exchanges that I have in my show description. If you enjoy my content that much, you can trade. If you're trading, use one of the show links underneath and support me. Here's the whole menu underneath the menu, and you can see everything from Prime XBT, Sniper Club is there. You guys know about that. Sniper School is going to be there. The whole stuff, the whole bang shoot is in there for you guys, and take a look. So 2 more setups that I've got for you that I think could play out. Now, like to never say never. Okay, and we know Phantom's been super bullish. Market was bearish today, but Phantom has held relatively well. But I'm suspicious. Okay, so if we do get downside, and I'm talking BTC at 56K, those type of levels, here's a setup for you. Phantom 454, still waiting patiently. We've been watching this area since Monday. We've been watching the zone since Monday. Okay, so 0.454 still on the table for me. Anchored VWAP 382 horizontal, possible bounce in this region. Okay, possible bounce right there for Phantom, and then lower down high conviction play. Okay, high conviction play 0.417 for Phantom. So just mark those levels there. Any weakness there, looking for at the very least some kind of bounce there from the market. Again, we can't say for sure it's the bottom and it sends to all-time highs, but we know reaction zone gives us a reaction in those areas. That is what we're looking for. And then this is my plan for near at the moment. So, yeah, nice little sniper plan for you guys. Yeah, and yeah, same as Rune. Rising trend. What does this tell us? It tells us a story that this thing needs to come down. Okay, if we've looked at Rune, it's come down all the way to that trend. Look at Nia. Okay, this is Nia on the 1 hour, following the plan so far. Big support at 4. Okay, so for me, there's no trade on Nia until this thing hits 4. Okay, that's a reaction zone for me. So that's where we're going to get some kind of bounce, I would expect. Hello, sir.
I just wanted to say you're crushing it and say thanks for the likes. Appreciate it.
Guys, if you like it, like it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, look at it. 4.08. I've got my alarm on. You can see I've set my trading view alarm, anchored VWAP, horizontal, 382 fib, rising trend. Okay, zone of interest for me, 4.08. Okay, if BTC wants to come and end us, if they really want to ruin your day or your night, okay, you're looking at 3.979. and you're looking at 3.93. This whole region makes sense to me, okay? We've got the big 382 pull from the dump lows tied into this trend region, so a little fake out of the trend, bang, okay? Looking for something like that. So nice little hot zone there for Nia. There's a little setup. Alarms are on. Mark this one on your charts. Could be a banger if we drop it into that zone. And remember the golden rule. If we start losing this rising trend and we start closing under this trend, there's no reason to hang on to that position. It most likely turns bearish. We've seen more examples than not. Okay, when we lose a major rising trend like that, typically these things start rolling over. Okay, so just jump out, just sit back, chill, wait, and we'll get you some more setups when we need to. Remember the cycle. You get these bullish moves up, then at some point they lose the trend, then it's a bearish move down, and then we break out and we get that bullish push again. So it's just a cycle that we're going to play, and it's just a matter of patience as well. Like for Rune today, I'm sure there were multiple entrants on Rune while we sat the whole day waiting. Okay, and all you needed to do was wait for the hot zone. Okay, and that's what I want you guys to learn from me, and that's what I want you to take out of these shows here. Just finding these hot zones and things like that, and really just saving some money. Okay, because if you're opening trades in unnecessary areas, it can get expensive for you. So wait for the nice hot zones there, and let's do it together. And okay, that's a wrap. That's everything from me. So today's Thursday, Friday tomorrow, big weekend ahead. Thank you.
Refresh the screen and drop your comments, please. Refresh this.
Tokens you want from me, okay? Like you saw today, some of the tokens that you wanted yesterday in the comments, I've used today. Do me the same favor again. Tokens you want, drop it in the comments after the show. Then Ray's going to compile them, and we're going to pick 1 or 2 of them to do for you guys. Okay, thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.